Hello! What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and this is my 31 days of horror movie reviews. And I just got done watching Paranormal Activity Next of Kin. This is a 2021 film. A brand new Paranormal Activity movie. That's what the world needed. That's what we all have been craving for after all of these years. This is like, what, the 7th or 8th? I don't even know how many Paranormal Activity movies there have been up until this point. It's been a long time. They took a break, but they're back with a vengeance. This is directed by William Eubank. And here we go. The plot is we meet Margot, this girl who is making a documentary with a bunch of people of herself. Not self-indulgent, of course. No, she wants to record herself meeting her family for the first time. She was given up as a baby, and she doesn't really know why. She doesn't know what went on with it. Somebody in her family has contacted her, so she goes to meet them and the rest of them, who are apparently Amish. But of course, it can't just be that, right? You have to have something weird, dark, and fucked up going on with this family. This film sucks, guys. It does. This movie sucks balls. And it sucks for so many reasons, but most importantly because I've reviewed about 3 horror movies in a row this past week that all came out this year. I'm talking about Lamb, Last Night in Soho, and Antlers. These are all horror movies that came out within the same week of each other, and I praised, for the most part, over how different they were, over how they just ended up being a lot smarter than most horror movies are nowadays. And so what do you know? Paranormal Activity had to come back to remind you just how shit horror can be nowadays. First things first, these actors, I'm not going to say that they're terrible. It's not really the actors or the acting that I have a problem with. It's the way how they're written. It's how dumb they are and some of the dumb things that they do. Obviously, this girl is excited to meet her family. Obviously, she has so many questions and so much mystery surrounding her mother and just what exactly went down when she was a baby. So I get that. I get her need to belong, her need to connect with these people, and her need for answers. But there comes so many instances where these characters realize that there's something fishy going on at this farmhouse with these Amish people. They can tell that something's not right. And then there's points where they find shit, like incriminating shit. Shit that should make you say, I don't give a fuck if our car's not working. We're gonna walk in order to get the fuck out of here. But no, they feel like they're shackled to this place. And then later on in the movie, near the end of the film, strictly only because the film needs to end, that's when the characters decide to go to the store and get a car battery for their car. Why haven't you done this days ago? It's things like this that are so stupid, that are so annoying. Characters who are like, oh man, well I guess if this is going on tomorrow, or let's wait till tomorrow before we go and try to leave. So let's spend another night here. I couldn't take the level of stupidity. I got to a point where I didn't care if all of these characters died. I didn't give shit what happened to them. And I know that sounds bad. I know that sounds messed up. But it's true. The scares themselves, there aren't any scares in this movie. Yes, they do the same old ass, tired, cliched jump scares, so many of them. And I'm not just talking about jump scares just to do them. I'm not just talking about jump scares that actually are the killer, or in this case, a possible demon ghost, right? That actually is there and that just gives you a jump scare. No, I'm talking about the kind of jump scares where it's just other characters, or it's just a scarecrow outside, or it's just the wall that they turn around and bump into. And that's supposed to be scary. That's supposed to make me jump. Lame as hell, especially when some of them are so telegraphed. So, like, oh man, it's quiet, guys, and then let's turn around. Oh, wait, nothing's there. Okay, let's turn around again, and there's the jump scare. It so paint by numbers, so by the books. I've seen too much recent horror movies that can be better, that has been better. I can't go back to this, guys. I can't. And let's not even compare this film to some of the other horror movies that I've liked recently. Let's compare this to the Paranormal Activities from the same series. This does something that the first few movies that were actually good in the series doesn't do, is give you characters to root for and to care about. That's one. And two, the idea of the first couple of Paranormal Activity movies, the reason why that worked, the reason why that was scary is because it was a family usually, or a couple, or whatever, in their house, seeing whatever this ghost is coming to your house, being in the house with you. And so in that case, you don't leave, you can't leave, and it's just the way how that was set up with the cameras, usually cameras of the house, or just how certain rooms were made. That's the staple at that point of what Paranormal Activity was. This movie deviates from that because these characters are going to another location. They're going to the houses of these Amish people. They have cameras themselves. And so in that case, it's like, oh, well, it's different then. That's good. It's not the same old tired stuff that, admittedly, the Paranormal Activity movies were getting lazy with. And it was not working anymore towards the end of those films. But the problem is that you make your characters look insanely dumb by constantly having to carry the cameras around, even when they're being chased near the end and about to get killed. They still have their cameras. They pass the cameras along to the other characters so that someone is always recording. But then you get to the point where the movie gets lazy with it, and it's almost like, well, we need to have shots of whatever this evil is, or certain shots of two characters in the same scene, so we just show the other person. Even though there's no camera that should be seeing that person, even though there's nothing set up that would be on that other camera, or on that other person, or facing that direction of that room. No, it's just they start getting willy-nilly with the camera angles. There's even a point where one of the characters is face-to-face with this creature. And the camera angles for that were all over the place. I'm like, who's holding this camera right now? How am I able to see from behind this creature? This is so idiotic. So dumb. But I will say this. If I'm going to give this movie any credit at all, I will say that I thought the ending, I won't give it away, but I thought the ending was going to go down a certain path, and shockingly it didn't. I actually kind of like the ending, even with all of the camera issues that don't make any sense. The way how this movie ends, I thought, wow, that's actually, well, for one, surprising, but two, I want to see that movie. This movie ends in a way where it's like, oh, well, there's going to be another film, but I don't mean like we're going to get a sequel. I mean like they clearly didn't have the budget to do what the end of this movie is setting up. And it sucks because I would rather see that film. That film that you ended the movie on, that's the more interesting movie. You could have cut out the first hour of this film and done away with all the boring stuff, all of the dumb stuff. The movie does take place during COVID times. Like it's set in this year. You see characters outside wearing masks, especially when they first meet up. So that was interesting. But come on. Come on. If you didn't have the budget to give me that more interesting film that I was wanting to see once this ended, then don't do the fucking movie at all. You had all of these goddamn years to come back with a Paranormal Activity movie, and you have failed me once again. Ugh. Fuck this movie, man. You know what? I'll give you some old bullshit only because you gave me some stuff towards the end that I thought was kind of interesting, but then you cut it off at the good parts. So no, some old bullshit.
Man, this some old bullshit.
You're lucky I'm even giving you that. Motherfuckers. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below. Did you see Paranormal Activity Next of Kin, or did you not give a shit about this or the series anymore? Were you not even aware that this movie exists? I think it's on Paramount Plus, I think. Who the hell can keep track anymore, though? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
Souls taken over by a devilish path. You got me walking on broken glass. Kicking down the door with a Jason mask. With a deck done machete, but you motherfuckers know it's heavy. Anytime you're ready, you can get you with a Bowie. Setting up to blow me, but the bitch don't know me. Who's going? I'm going. You know, I know that the man in the mirror is my next rival. Time goes and I never thought I'd live so fast. Staring at the world from the end of my glass. Turned into a dark place, severed my brain. And I dropped out of class, but